why steel in today's context, and again the challenges and opportunities today we have using all these new materials that are available and we are exposed to these. So first I'll go very fast introducing our team. Our brand, I&I, pretty much stands for delivering integration in all disciplines and kind of realizing the ideas. It stands for many eyes: imagination, inquiry, innovation, inspirations, and so on. But most importantly, to create really truly innovative ideas, you need multidiscipline, coordination, and collaboration. And that's why the integration is more important. And that's our culture. At glance, we are operating from 6 locations, and our project footprints across the globe go fast. In terms of collaborative services, we have pretty much engaged into many in-house disciplines. In building sectors, we have contributed to pretty much most of the building typologies. We started here as a Bird Hill in 2007 in India, and then merged with Stantec, another large global design and engineering firm. Just this year, we changed our brand and strategy for South Asia and introduced I&I brand to really deliver projects in this region. Again, our statement revolves around collaboration, and it is backed by research pretty much, and all integration. In terms of sustainability, no matter what material we use or what final outcome is, we have experienced in delivering sustainable projects here as well as across the globe. I think some of the technologies that were being discussed to deliver some of the complex projects, BEAM is really facilitating cross-discipline collaboration and delivering some of the most complex projects today. Now, coming to the point on our way of design process, and working across the globe, 400 locations of a Stantec network and 5 offices here, how do you make sure that your end result really stands up for the brand? That's the biggest challenge that generally most of the large firms face. So you need to have a process to guide that and to make sure that quality of your design really is consistent. So we have evolved, this is unique process that we have evolved is 10 metrics, and most of our projects are guided by these 10 metrics. And through project I'll now touch on that, how this 10 metrics process help us. So again, I'll just focus on one project, and so how steel has been really inspiring here, and what were the driving forces behind the steel as a selection, and how the 10 metrics really helped us to come to this wonderful coordinated project. So client, we all know JSW Group, they are into steel, and one of the brief that we learned very fast that how we can showcase the steel for India in a different way. We started this project 2007, and I think as earlier discussion in the morning session, we talked that was beginning of introducing steel in a different way in this country. And a lot of challenges in terms of early movers when the ecosystem is not there and you are still taking up the challenge to demonstrate steel as one of the main elements for the design. So we started collaborating with the family and started learning what drives the entire company and how they are really driven by the values. So we kind of started deep dive in understanding the client. So project site is pretty unique, sandwiched into context with very odd shape of a plot in BKC. So the red dot is the site. You can see the site itself has a challenge, but at the same time, it can turn into a wonderful opportunity for designers like us. The other thing that we learn from client is their consciousness about environment and sustainability. So we started kind of deep dive, as I said, learning about client and their core values, some like transparency, excellency, strive for the best outcome, dynamism, passion for learning, and again, commitment to the nature. So taking all these, we started defining our positioning for the design statement. So with all these, ultimately contribute to the performance and showing what skill can do in a unique way. So some of the early design charrettes where we spent about 1 week of a brainstorming amongst our internal team and with client. Lot of ideas, lot of things on a wall. We kind of create concepts and build those concepts ourselves, debating on those, what are the plus minus of each concepts, and then out of about 12, 13 concepts, we rigorously selected 3 options. This was one of them. You can see the site and the building form and how it creates the negative capture spaces in the center and across the site. This is the second selected concept. Much different solution than the first one, but pretty much provides most of the design drivers that we had taken into account. Third one, much simpler in terms of a building form, cover 2 rectangular bars, just capturing a space in the middle. So, what throughout the process was guiding in selection of all these different ideas? High-end and open field. Beautiful green landscape terraces, because in BKC area, having gardens and still afford the building, both is difficult. Then functional aspect for the staff and the management teams and some other modern amenities and wonderful workplaces. And throughout these, the other 5 elements that were driving, that pretty much Mr. Jindal and Mr. Jindal wanted that how we can represent our project in a unique way. So 5 I's were listed: iconic, inviting, inspiring, intelligent, and innovative. Again, parallel to the value system of the company. So, iconic. Now, most of the steel structures, when we talk about iconic, first thing comes to tall structures. Now in BKC, limitations of the height, no more than 10, 11 floors, and to really express the iconicness is a challenge. And that also expressing the steel in an iconic way in a horizontal structure with the architectural statement is even more wonderful challenge to have. So monumentality, contemporary feel, fluidity in the expression, dynamism in the form, and movement and the velocity of their steel industry. So how do we capture that? And I think the image expresses it here. So again, expressing it, driven by steel, glass, and some of the cladding, which are granite clad panels. Razor braid edges at the both end of the building and 45-feet cantilever on both ends. I mean, that's what steel can do most effectively. So here is the one of the end with cantilever, which is inviting 3-story high lobby space. Again, transparency is everywhere, which symbolically also they want to promote more transparent working across different departments in their corporate culture. So how do you really blend all those things? But we pretty much were conscious to express those values throughout the design. Inviting, second I. Again, through architectural statement, through amenities and unique program of the total project and atrium and some of the art, we were very conscious to promote the invitingness throughout the building. Inspiring, the third I. And here the idea was how corporate culture can promote and boost the morale of the people working there. And even the project, the image of the strong outlook of the industry and their own company. At the same time, feel responsible to the community and neighborhood, transformative in the culture, comfortable and collaborative, and safe. Because we talked some of the elements on the safety aspect while using the steel. Intelligent, fourth I. Pretty much during the design process and even in the operation of the building, all of the available potential technologies were explored and the right ones were utilized. Whether it's the designing for and analyzing the daylighting across the building or the tall atrium in the center, or designing the facade, and all other tools to analyze how the building performs in terms of the daylighting and even the comfort. Again, integration in using all this system while steel is the main structural element, and how do you clear different layers on top of that and still have wonderful architectural statement. And here are the floor plans, the because of the site itself, it really offered us wonderful opportunity to explore different things in terms of the building form and internal spaces also. Typical floor areas, executive floors, and I'll just touch very quickly on the design metrics that I started with, that how design metrics help our process to be consistent in maintaining the quality. So out of 10 metrics, I'm just going to touch 5 or 6 of them. Humanism. There's always possibility to explore humanism in a unique way. Buildings and built environment really are designed for human. And here is the statement, generally every project done across the globe has to follow. And annually about 50 projects randomly are picked, and they have to go through this 10 metrics evaluation, and each project is graded for each metrics. So like in humanism, this project was measured around 4.8 out of 5. And what were some of the driving humanism considerations? Increased collaboration throughout the departments, sharing of ideas across all levels of the staff, caring of the people working in the building, comfort and safety. Second matrix is the story. If your design doesn't have a story, it's just a building. It's not truly a design project which has a soul. And on the story aspect, this pretty much measured about 4.87 in the scale out of 5. And one of the statements on the story was having a center atrium, which is the soul of the project, and it represents yin and yang, because throughout the collaboration, entire board at some point was involved in the design process, and continuous involvement of Sangeeta and Sajna Dindal in giving feedback. And that many times ideas are opposite. When she says something, he has different way of approaching to that idea. And really balancing them and coming up with a whole story of yin and yang on those really gave us a wonderful experience working on these. And last but not least, the story aspect is Brahma and Vastu at the center of the entire building, which is the atrium and the unique space. Design matrix 3, innovation. I think I already touched base. The project measured about 4.9 out of 5. Some of the innovative aspects, and for us, innovation doesn't mean you have to reinvent E is equal to MC square. It can be simple ideas put together in a different way, and that serves a different purpose. So like this is one of them, creating a truly dual wall around the building where it is required, such as south and west facade, which is passively ventilated, reducing load of the AC and diffuse daylight bringing in. Some of the technologies to integrate all of the operational aspect of the building systems and contributing to environmental benefits, economic benefits and social benefits in different ways. Matrix number 4, sustainability. Again, it did score 4.8 out of 5, and that has to be a measured impact to the environment, and that's what we really measure when we talk about sustainability. Some of the softer aspects, but most of them measurable aspects. Matrix number 5, context. How do you solve the project site and its context, and how do you fit in? did 4.75 in that scale, and pretty much it really fits in well in the BKC and contributes to the overall micro environment through the terrace and other landscaped areas across the building. Aesthetics, when we talk about design, it's given. It did about 4.9 in the aesthetics. In the interest of the time, she is coming to the second time, so I'll just go fast. Some of the images, again, all the challenges faced, there were about 2,000 plus drawings on the shop drawings just to look at the steel carefully, every connection. So, horizontal but iconic in the steel. And even the interiors, large span, open offices, and some of the smaller details in how the steel and metal can do elements such as transparent staircases across the atrium spaces is also explored in the interior aspects of the project, and you can see it. And how steel, lighting, and the glass all really do that. So every corner was detailed in terms of its experience as far as the interiors is concerned, and many elasticity in the steel, even to the last art. Sculptures were also carefully taken into consideration. The building, when it's done, some of the interior images. Totally minimalistic approach in terms of so that it expresses more steel than anything else. So this is the staircase, again glass and steel pretty much. And that you can see some of the terraces, because building really terraces well on both hands. Why steel? I think a lot of debate has happened already, and obvious reason was because their own business is steel and how do we represent it. So thank you again.